Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Maddie. I'm your exercise professional for today.
Hi Maddie, I'm
Have a
good.
seat. Okay, so today we're just going to go through the dietary health questionnaire and just look at your goals and how you're eating and to see if we can help you at all to achieve your goal.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, so what's your main goal that you're looking for in relation to your dietary habits?
Yeah, I want to lose a bit of weight.
Okay. And any specific amount that you're looking at in any time frame?
Not really. I'd probably like to drop 5 to 10 kilos.
Yeah.
Not in any real rush.
Okay. So say in the next, like 3 months?
What would you recommend?
Yeah, probably say the next 3 to 6 months we'll look at. Okay, so I'm just going to explain to you my role as an exercise professional in relation to dietary goals. So basically, like I can give you some basic nutritional advice to help achieve your goal. The main thing I go by are the Australian dietary guidelines. And if you do have any more specific goals you're trying to achieve or any chronic diseases that are stopping you from achieving a goal, then I can refer you on to an allied health professional, so like a dietitian.
Okay.
Okay. All right, let's get started on the actual dietary habits questionnaire. So I just want to know, in general, how a normal day of eating is in your life. So what would a usual weekday look like for you in regards to food? So starting with breakfast.
For breakfast, if I'm not in a rush and I have breakfast at home, it's usually a coffee,
Yeah.
some porridge or some toast.
Yeah.
If I'm in a rush, then I'll stop off at a tuck shop and get cheese sausage or a brekkie wrap and a nice coffee.
Yeah. And do you have morning tea usually, or you just have lunch?
Yeah, I have morning tea some days.
Yeah.
Usually like a muesli bar or some sort of bar and a can of soft drink.
Yeah. And lunchtime, would you ever like meal prep or do you just buy out?
If I cook the night before, then I usually take leftovers for lunch, but if not, I'll just go to somewhere and get something to eat.
Okay.
So like a pint of Coke or a coffee or Subway or something.
Yeah.
Just easy.
And if you do cook the night before, like how often would that usually be? Do you enjoy cooking?
Yeah, enjoy it, just time consuming.
Yeah.
So maybe 2 times a week, 3 times a week.
Yeah. Okay. And what about your afternoons in a normal weekday?
I'll have afternoon beers probably 3 to 4 times a week.
Yeah, and how many beers would you usually consume in a day?
3 to 6.
Okay. And how do your, and your dinner?
Dinner is, depending on the day, steak and veggies or chicken and veggies, or if I'm too buggered, I'll get some takeaway or some Uber Eats.
Yeah.
Pasta.
Yeah. And then how do your weekdays look compared to your weekends in relation to food?
I consume a lot more alcohol on weekends.
Yeah.
Especially footy.
Yeah.
Same, I'll just eat bad food on the weekends.
Okay. Yeah. So more takeaway on the weekends and
Yeah. And lots more alcohol.
Yeah. Okay. That gives me a good idea. All right, so we're going to go through the actual dietary habits questionnaire. So I'm going to ask you how many serves you eat of each of the 5 main food groups, and then you can let me know.
Okay.
And I'll explain to you what a serve is for each different food group. So how many serves of vegetables do you usually eat per day? So, for example, 1 serve of vegetables is about half a cup of cooked vegetables, or 1 cup of salad, or half a medium potato is 1 serve.
Probably 2 to 3.
Yeah. All right, so how many serves of fruit do you usually eat per day? So 1 serve of fruit can be 1 apple or 1 banana.
Maybe 1 serve a day.
Yeah. Okay, and how many serves of breads and cereals do you usually eat per day? So 1 serve of bread or cereal would be 1 slice of bread or half a cup of rice.
Oh, definitely 4 to 5.
Okay, how many serves of dairy do you consume per day? So 1 serve is 1 cup of like full cream milk, or 2 slices of cheese, or a 3/4 cup of yogurt.
Yeah, I'd probably be about 4 serves a day.
And how many serves of meat or alternatives do you consume per day? So about 65 grams of red meat, or if you have tofu, about 170 grams of that,
No,
100 grams of fish.
I don't have any tofu, but meat probably 1 serving a day.
Yeah.
Should be 2.
Okay, and discretionary choices. So these are more like your takeaway foods, your hot chips, your pies, your pasties, and your beer. So I guess if you're having at least, say, 3 beers a day, then you're more likely to be on the higher scale of this. How are you, like chocolate, soft drinks?
Oh, I love chocolate and soft drinks.
Yeah, so probably 10 plus per week, which, isn't that hard to get to.
Easily.
Okay. Do you have any special dietary requirements or allergies?
Not that I know of.
No. Okay, that's good. Thanks for that. All right. So, just a few things I want to go through after getting all of that. I think there's definitely a few things we can do to make a big difference in your diet straight away. Because you do like cooking, I think one of the main things that you can do to really help is doing some meal prep. Is that something that you think you can kind of bring into your life?
Yeah, I've just got to make time for it.
Yeah. And do you think that you'll have time? Like, do you have a lot of things after work that you need to get done, or could you make time?
Usually just exhausted by the time I get home.
Okay, so we'll try to make time to do some meal prepping. So one of the really big things that I found that helps a lot of people is that on the weekend or when you do have a night free, you can do a bit of the meal prepping, like cutting up vegetables and then freezing them.
Okay.
So you kind of do a lot of like the preparation, and then you'll have some things in the freezer there to quickly chuck a meal together.
Can I just buy frozen veggies like that?
Yeah, you can buy frozen veggies if you prefer to do that.
Yep.
That's pretty much the same nutritional value. And then you can have other things like, you okay like with most things, like you can cook rice?
Yeah.
Yeah, so all of those things. So just a simple meal might be like rice and veggies. Okay. The other thing I think that would help is, instead of taking like muesli bars to work, you could try to take more fruit to work as a snack.
Yep.
Do you like fruit?
Yeah, I got told they were high in sugar, so I've kind of stayed away from it.
Okay, yeah, so definitely get some more fruit into your diet. Okay. So we as exercise professionals usually just go by the Australian dietary guidelines, which are here. So guideline number 1 is just maintaining a healthy weight by being physically active and choosing amounts of nutritious food and drinks to meet your energy needs. So I think another thing that can help you is just reducing your intake of dairy a little bit. So maybe just cutting out maybe 1 to 2 coffees. So instead of having, say, like 3 coffees a day or 4 coffees a day, you might just have 2. And increasing your water intake, I think, is really important. Guideline number 2 is just enjoying all of the 5 food groups. So at the moment, you're definitely a lot higher in the dairy and the breads and cereals. So I think we can definitely increase your vegetables and even maybe your meats and your fruits.
Okay. I'd love a coffee now.
All right, and then guideline 3 is just limiting the intake of foods containing saturated fat, added salt, added sugars, and alcohol. So this is definitely a big one for you. So do you think that like cutting down your alcohol intake during the week is something that's realistic for you, or?
During weekdays, probably I can cut it down a bit more.
Yeah.
Weekends will be a bit harder during footy season anyway.
Yeah. So during the week when you have the after work beers, like, are you able to maybe skip 2 days a week of that and, you know, get home a bit earlier to meal prep and do some things like that? Like, would that be acceptable?
I guess I can try it.
Yeah. Good. And guideline 4 is mainly to do with women, and guideline 5 is caring for your food, preparing and storing it safely. Are you like, you understand how to prepare your food safely and store it correctly?
I've got Tupperware containers and that crap.
Yeah, good. And then these are just some foods to limit. So definitely your takeaway foods we really want to limit. Just by meal prepping, you'll really notice a difference in the new, like how you feel. So you'll have more energy, you'll feel better, you'll last longer throughout the day. You won't have like the highs and lows, and you will be able to lose 5 kilos. You know, your goal. You'll be able to get to your goal a lot quicker if you just cut out some of the takeaway foods, because they're very high in sugar and saturated fat. But yeah, even in the Australian dietary guidelines, some of the tips they have are just planning ahead, so meal prepping, and try to use fruit as snacks. I think that's pretty much everything. So I'll give you a copy of the your dietary habits questionnaire.
Yep.
I'll keep one for my records, and then we can do this again in 6 months to see how different your diet's looking and to see any improvements we've made. And I'll give you a list of the tips that we've gone through.
Alright.
So just to see if that helps. But I definitely think we can get to your goal of losing 5 kilograms in the next 3 months. Especially with how your diet's looking at the moment. There's some easy fixes that I think we can make.
All right.
Okay, it was nice to meet you.
Thank you very much, Madison.
Thank you.